Hello class! Today we have a lesson on DC Universe Classics, wave number 12. I keep forgetting what wave it is. Figure 5, Desaad. And we'll have a look at him here in the packaging. Now, originally I wasn't going to buy this figure, or I was very torn as to whether to buy it or not. And it's because he is part of the Darkseid wave, but this loser comes with a figure stand, and I flippin' hate the figures that come with figure stands, and he's not important enough to me to really care about otherwise. However, I am trying to build an Apokaliptian army, as it were, and he would be part of that. So I was torn back and forth as to whether or not to buy this figure. And then at a store close to where I live, they put him on sale for $7. And I thought, okay, $7, I'll probably just waste that on, well, probably junk food or something else. So, you know, I can spend $7 and buy Desaad. Especially when, well, it says here originally $29.99, but this particular store, what they'll do is they'll put a jacked up price and then a sale price underneath. And most of the time it's a ripoff. But in this case, $7, you know, they had the whole Darkseid wave for $7 a figure. It drove me a little bit bonkers. At any rate, here we can see a button that comes with, and there's Soups fighting Darkseid, which is nice. It includes your collect and connect figure piece. No, it doesn't. But if we look at the back here, some of the other figures in the wave, we have Eclipso, the Spectre, Copperhead, Dr. Midnight, this douchebag Desaad, Mary Batson, Iron, and again, most of these characters come with a piece of Darkseid, which is, for me, the main reason for buying, well, all of them, because Darkseid is awesome. There we've got a picture of Desaad, and for a quick biography on this dude, there's no more fearsome place in all the universe than the planet Apocalypse, where Desaad is the right-hand man of the planet's cruel overlord, the godlike Darkseid. Desaad has a favored place in Darkseid's court, specializing in devising super weapons and torture devices for his ruler. Few ever speak openly against Desaad, knowing that he has spies everywhere. Regardless of his slight stature and lack of powers, he commands fear and deference from Apocalypse's endless array of villains and monsters. So there you go, dude doesn't even have any powers. His first appearance was in The Forever People #2 back in 1971. His name is Desaad. His occupation is Master Torturer. That is awesome. Does that mean like there's Apprentice Torturer and Journeyman Torturer, and eventually you get to Master? Or is it like belts? Like he's got a black belt in torture? Or a red belt in torture? And where the hell does one sign up for that? Anyways, his base of operations, I think it's more just a skill you learn as you go. I don't think there's like a book. Well, there probably is a book on it, let's face it. Anyways, his base of operations is Apocalypse, and his special abilities is that he's immortal, not from what I saw. And he's the inventor of weapons and torture technologies. Now, in response to that little immortal thing, I've never seen this character in the comic books. I never really collected the DC comics. I only know him from Justice League, and his appearance in it is so brief. I didn't think he was an actual character, and it wasn't until I saw that there was a figure, I'm like, wait a minute, this Desaad guy is an actual character? Because he got vaped, like, in 5 minutes. Or less than that, so, yeah, I was pretty surprised that he had a figure and that he was an actual character, because he came and went so quickly. Kind of like Steppenwolf did, who you can see back there. He came and went pretty quickly in that episode as well. So there you have it. There's the in-package look at Desaad. We're going to open this up and have a closer look. Be back in a second. And we're back. We're still looking at Desaad, and I'll do a quick 360 of the figure here. Now again, I know I mentioned it before, I really know nothing about this character, and except what I read on the bio and what little I saw in Justice League. So I don't have too much to say about him. So I guess I can just focus more on the figure itself. Now, in terms of the mold, I have to say it is a very unique figure, because he wears this kind of purplish, very light purple. It could have stood for me to be darker, because I don't like light purple. I'm sure there's a name for this shade of purple, but this light purple. Anyways, his unique mold for that, even his arms, we can see it's supposed to be the hood, even though, or the cloak, or where the hell is, bathrobe that he's wearing. It's a little bit different. It doesn't quite match up with his shoulders when you turn the arms over, which is kind of, eh. His face, he looks like a crusty, evil guy who likes doing bad things to people. I don't really know what else much to say about it. He looks evil enough, I suppose, which I think all the denizens of Apocalypse are. Now his legs, if we lift his skirt a little bit, we can see they're pretty much standard DCU legs. His boots are a little bit unique. I don't know if that's the design from the comic books. What's nice, though, is that if you look at the straps or along the boots, they've even carved in, it looks like wear and tear on those, which is kind of nice. Same thing with the other side. And this thing that's on his back, it is loose. I think it is a separate piece. I guess it could come off. I'm not going to try to take it off because Lord knows I probably won't be able to put the damn thing back on without breaking it. Plus, it looks like it'd be difficult to do because of his hood. But I like the fact that it is a separate piece. It looks like it is a harness that he's wearing. Now, in regards to the harness itself, I have no idea what the hell this thing is supposed to be, because I didn't see it in the cartoon, and I haven't looked it up on Wikipedia or anything. And in the package, these things were facing more down, out-ish. But I think on the back of the box, I set him there for a second. I'm going to grab the box, or a box, because I got a few of them sitting around. Oh, there he is. They're facing backwards. So, oh, I point like you can see it. Anyways, it is pointing backwards, so I'm guessing it's some kind of propulsion device or something. So, again, I have no idea what the hell this thing's supposed to be. So we'll just put those things facing backwards again. But it is nice, and it's got all the little buttons and doodads on it and all that great stuff, so I guess he's supposed to be able to reach over and adjust things as he's flying with this thing. And on the back, again, we've got some nice detail on it. It's nice. It's not just some great box or something. It's got extra stuff, buttons and lights and all that wonderful stuff. Although I wonder if this would be awkward to try to fly around with, because really it would just pull you forward. I don't know. You'd have to aim it down a little bit to get some lift. Whatever, I'm not going to talk about comic book physics because, let's face it, those are murky waters, right? Now, the little bits that he holds on to, they are attached at the back, and I don't think they're supposed to come out, but I worry about the one connection there because I don't know how well you can see it, but the plastic looks weak, like it's been pressed when it was in the package, so I do worry that could just snap right off, because even when it's dangling, you can see how bent it is. And Lord knows I wouldn't want to have to spend another $7 to replace something that's broken on one of them, because you know what, I don't really care about Desaad that much, and he comes with a figure stand, and that pisses me off. Anyways, so we can put these back in his hands, and I do find because of the plastic that's used to make these little hand controls, they don't always sit in his hands that well. But we'll see if we can put that in there. Oh, see, now I just lied. That one goes in well, the other one, the left hand, not so. Okay, I'm a liar, there they are. But if I try moving it, I'm certain I'm gonna lose it eventually, because I had a real tough time with it earlier. So in terms of his colors, I guess we kind of already spoke about that. He's mostly this kind of sickly purple color with the hood. A little bit of black lining here and there. I mean, it is what it is, for lack of a better phrase, so that's not too bad. In terms of his articulation, which I know with this wave, I've missed some of the articulation. I think I did with Copperhead and with Iron. Because, you know, most of the time with DCUC figures, the articulation is largely the same, but it is going to be a little bit different here with Desaad. We can move the head, but the jetpack does kind of, I'm assuming it's a jetpack, does kind of make it difficult, so his head doesn't turn that far. Has a little bit of up and down movement. If I get rid of the control thing in his hand, the arm does look like more or less a typical DCUC shoulder joint. Oh, so we can rotate that around. We can lift the arm up. We can still rotate around and bend the elbow, and his hand will rotate at the wrist. If he, you know what? There you go. He's got that extra bit in the torso, so he can move up and down a little bit, because his cloak, and we'll see, or I guess we'll call it a cloak, or his robe, I guess is probably a better term. It's two separate pieces, so we can actually rotate him at the waist, and it will probably go all the way around. That's nice. So actually, it's kind of nice because it doesn't look like it should be two pieces right away, but at first inspection, but it is, and that's kind of nice. It gives him a little bit of extra articulation. The other thing that's nice is that the bottom part of his robe is something, again, that they've put over top of the leg, so while the robe does disrupt the leg movement, he still has a little bit of it. Not as much, and it's much more difficult to do. I'm assuming we can just turn the leg all the way around if we want to look like he totally busted it. Yep. We can bend the knee, and then of course we can bend the ankles. But again, the robe is going to inhibit that a little bit. But the other thing that is kind of nice is that if you look at it, it's molded so that the legs are visible. Like the robe is kind of got some weight. It's covering his legs a little bit. It's not frilly and flowy like some of those skirts that you see other superheroes wear. Yeah, whatever, I know. What the hell kind of superhero wears a skirt? Well, maybe some of the female ones do. Anyways, the dudes I don't think do, but then they call it like maybe a kilt or a robe or something else. Sorry, ranting just a little bit there. So there you have it. Now in terms of accessories, see if I have it around here somewhere. See if I can stand him up for a second. He did come with a collector button, and that is Supes fighting Darkseid. And I think that's supposed to be Action Comics or whatever the main Superman comic is, or whatever. Because I don't think Desaad would ever... Has Desaad ever graced a comic cover? And really should he? Because I don't know if he's really that important of a character, because I don't know too much about him. But, you know, the button doesn't really feature him at all. And in terms of the other accessory that he comes with another awesome figure stand. Because, you know, they have to have one with a figure stand, and I guess this time it was Desaad, because if you look at the whole wave, and I guess maybe we will a little bit more once we do the Build-A-Figure, there's not too many that, you know, you could give the figure stand to whom you would buy otherwise. Like, to me, the whole wave is kind of a lot of characters that you could live without. But there you go, he's on his figure stand, which will help him stand up, which is what they do, which is excellent. Now, in terms of just my thoughts for this figure, you know what, I have to admit, while I have no real interest in the character, and he looks kind of skeezy to me, like he just, I won't say it. I have a real simple way of describing how I think he looks, and it's not really nice, so I won't say it. Which I know is a little bit out of character for me, but I worry I get in trouble for it. It is actually a decent figure, all things considered, just because it's not just a, you know, a different colored standard DCUC mold with one or two extra bits on the head or on the arms or something. It looks like they had to put a little bit of work into this figure. I mean, the legs underneath are pretty much the same, but there's so much more to it. I would like this figure probably a lot more if I had any interest in the character, which sadly I don't. But it is a decent figure, all things considered. Like, it's got some weak points because, you know, it comes with a crappy figure stand, but that has nothing wrong with the figure itself. It's more of the package that you buy. I'm finding myself, while I don't like it, it is a decent figure, all things around. I mean, they put a lot of work into it, and it'll go alongside the rest of the Apokaliptian army that I'm trying to put together. Maybe one day we'll see a video of putting that together. I'm sure there's other stuff out there where somebody has like armies and armies of parademons and all that kind of stuff. But I do think it's kind of neat. So if I were to grade this figure, you know what? Oh man, this is actually kind of tough for me. I'm going to say it's an A- figure. I wouldn't go much higher than A- because I can't get behind the character. I just don't care. Maybe if I knew more about the character and I liked the character a little bit more, it would sway my opinion higher. But it is a good figure, I have to say. The colors seem to be close to what I've seen or what I know of the character. The sculpt has a lot of unique bits to it, which is nice. The accessory, I'm guessing it's part of who he is, which is nice. The one little complaint is this one bent hose, but that could just be the figure that I've purchased. And I don't like the fact he comes with a figure stand because I just think that's a rip-off. But at any rate, not a bad figure, and I think a worthy addition to the Darkseid wave, and because it's Darkseid, we have him, which is excellent. So I think that's about it. That is going to be our lesson on Desaad from DC Universe Classics. I forget which wave, I think it's 12. Thank you very much, and class is dismissed.